Hi, I'm Stal. This is a Bard rant from one of my Twitch VODs at twitch.tv/stal, and I want to say a few things before we continue with the video. Firstly, if you hate my voice, same, and I'm sorry. Technically, I can do something about it, it's just that I don't want to, but you can always close the video and pretend this never existed, just like how Chi has never existed for most of you, unless you sat there for 18 hours straight, still got a bronze medal, because someone sat in the middle of the arena like a fucking smartass, pulled it and then died in 5 seconds. Next, my experience with Bard. I have mained this job since late Heavensward and have been bringing it to every raid with the exception of one fight, which is E8S. I don't like to flex, but I like to bait people to watch my streams, so here are my very meaningless accomplishments in this game that will not help me in my IRL resume at all, but it will totally bait someone to drop by my stream and give me your Twitch Prime. It works, trust me. Lastly, if you're here to leave me rude comments regarding my voice, gender, and the likes of it, like how I have been receiving these comments since I started streaming, just know that you're not the special first guy and I probably play this game way better than you do. Okay, like, share, subscribe, YouTube Birds, video start. At this rate, you know what? Q, just make it into a fucking video. And then I'll name the video why endwalker Bard sucks. Bracket, stop asking me anymore. Bracket, DPS doesn't mean anything. Wait, Q, why are you back? Wait a minute. But basically, in Repetoire, I guess the thing is, when talking about Bard, right, you have to compare how it was before and how it is now. And Repetoire was very, very similar to how Shadowbringer's Bard is. So it's easier to just use Repetoire as an example compared to like Shadowbringers, because Repetoire was kind of what a lot of Bards wanted. I think a lot of Bards were very happy about it, actually, because they wanted charges. And I think we actually got it. So I think a lot of Bards were quite happy, if I'm not wrong. I think their only complaint was they were deaf. And they wanted 3 charges, I think. They also wanted the songs to be a bit different. The passive. That I remember. They were asking about changing armies or whatever. But basically now that songs are not spells, it makes it very difficult to cut your songs or do it, like make it shorter and stuff like that. So what this means is that there's a higher chance of you being songless if you die. I know the whole thing, the solution is to just don't die forehead, but like shit like that happens, right? And if you die at a very unfortunate time, like when you click minuet, but before you do your battle voice and stuff, you basically have to delay your battle voice for another 45 seconds because your rotation is hard stuck 2 minutes now, and there's no flexibility to it. Which is why I always say that the whole songs, spells thing is very niche and situational that a lot of people don't really think about. Because I don't really see a lot of people talking about it, even though it's such a big deal in prog and optimization. But of course, non-Bard mains probably wouldn't know because it's such a small thing that you don't even think about. Because normally you just do your normal rotation, right? So now, yeah, so now dying is very, very punishing. Because it not just affects you, it also affects your entire group, especially with the emphasis on 2 minutes buff right now. And Bard does give a lot of RDPS with their passives and battle voice and raid and finale and everything. And like I said, like a very easy example is basically matching kill times. I am trying to be as calm as I can right now, talking about Bard. I'm trying to be as logical as I can without being mad. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult because like I've already seen the potential of it in Repetoire. So this is actually like a smaller like a smaller issue. The whole battle voice thing is actually quite a small issue. I think the bigger issue is actually Radiant Finale. So, for those of you who don't main Bard, Radiant Finale is a level 90 song. And it basically gives you like damage buff and stuff. And how you use it is you need coda to use Radiant Finale. So to get coda, you have to play a song. And you get 246% damage buff depending on how many coda you get. So 246% is 123 coda, basically. So basically you need to go through like a 2 minutes worth of songs to get 3 coda for a 6% buff. Right. So if a boss happens to transition at a really bad time, because your songs are not spells, you can't cut your song short and you can't swap to another, which means you won't be able to get a quota, and it will potentially make your 2 minutes weaker. Because now that you can't get a quota, you can't do 6% buff, right? You can only do 4%. And I already mentioned the emphasis on 2 minutes buffs is really huge now in endwalker compared to before, compared to any other time really. So it's even more punishing. And I'm pretty sure it was one of the extreme trials, I don't remember which one. But I think my solution at the time was to either extend Mage's Ballad to the full duration or go songless, both of which are not good options. And I ended up bursting in like some shitty song, I think it was Armies or something. I couldn't even burst in my main song, it was really bad. It was actually really annoying. And because songs are not spells, you can't cut your song short, but the only thing you can do is extend your song, which is making mages 15 seconds or 13 seconds or whatever or seconds longer. But if you just keep extending it, you end up losing cast of Minuet, which is an overall DPS loss. So obviously you don't want that either, which is why I say it impacts flexibility a lot. Again, this is something that a lot of people talk about, because if you don't do optimization, you would just do your normal rotation without thinking about things too much. But it still is an issue. Okay, so Radiant Finale in Repetoire was 90 seconds cooldown instead of right now it's 110, which essentially is 120 seconds. And it was 245% at 123 quota. So the difference between 2 and 3 quota was just 1% instead of 2%. And I found it really interesting because what this means is that you could possibly do a 2% opener into 4%, 4%, and ending at 5% every 6 minutes reopener. Which is really nice if you have a boss transition or like kill times again and stuff like that, right? It's very flexible because you're not hard stuck 2 minutes, but you still have the potential to go to 2 minutes. So I thought that was really good. And 1% means you won't lose that much DPS. I know it's like a very niche thing, but it's really important for me. TLDR, song not spell, very inflexible. I hate it. And I think it's a good enough reason for me to reconsider bringing Bard into prog, which is why I've been very hesitant on bringing it into prog. Yeah, and another thing is that you can't put a song on the boss if you can't target the boss. Which is honestly a pretty big issue. Like, how are you gonna get quota if you can't target the boss, right? I think my next issue with Bard is that dots don't proc Repetoire. Because now it's just 80% chance of one Repetoire proc every 3 seconds. And I feel this is more of a personal preference thing. But I don't understand why they changed it. Because literally we asked for charges. We asked for charges because we had dots that like double tick, right? And I understand there are situations where it's not worth putting dots if you compare it to the amount of time, blah blah blah. I know that's the argument people always use. But like, if you compare the amount of times where it's worth to put a dot up versus the amount of times where it's not worth it, like overall it's worth it, right? And I'm just confused whether they were listening to Bard mains or not. Because they gave us charges and then they took away the dot. So now I'm just like, why the fuck, right? Without any natural cooldown or Imperial Arrow, it takes me 18 seconds to get 3 charges now. And I know a lot of people think, you know, it's not such a big deal. It's just 18 seconds, whatever. It is a fucking big deal because Mage's Ballad sucks. Because now Army's Paeon is better than Mage's, and I don't understand. How can a filler song be better than one of my main songs? And we have this fucking weird rotation. Right now there's 43, 34, 43. And why is it 43 and 34? Because they make it so that the song ticks every 3 seconds, which gives you a repertoire, right? But the last 3 seconds doesn't give you a fucking tick. It doesn't even give you a tick. So what's the point? So now I have this weird shit, and I can't change my song rotation because you might be asking, why not you just do Army's Paeon first, then Mage's? Why not just swap the songs, right? You can't, because fucking Army's Paeon gives you the stupid speed buff that you wanted in your burst, which is Minuet. So now my Minuet and Army's is stuck there, and my Mage's has to be in the middle. So now I'm stuck doing a 43, 34, 43, and it's so fucking bad. And then I have people telling me that bot is so fun. What fun is that? Why do you like to spam burst shot for 45 seconds at Army's Paeon? I'm telling you, these people are fucking masochists. They like pain and suffering, so they enjoy 43 seconds of spamming one button when Mages could have been so much more interesting with full bloodletter tick. I don't understand all these people, man. I mean, we might cap every now and then with like natural CD and Pyro. We might cap at 3 charges if we get a full bloodletter. But just think about it, right? Think about how much more fun our AoE could have been. We were so fucking good at AoE and dot ticks. It was 10 times more fun than this boring shit. Okay? And now my node is up. Let me get my node first. My stalks. Stupid masochist. 43 seconds Army's Paeon is fight. What was I talking about? AoE! Yeah, our AoE is so fucking boring. I think right now we just spam Quick Knock and just pray for like Shadowbite procs, right? I'm so upset because our AoE is so fucking boring. We used to be gods of AoE. So what you would do is that you would put dots on mobs as you kind of run and chase after the tank and shit, right? And then you just keep getting bloodletter procs because Quick Knock used to proc bloodletter. But now, they do this thing where Quick Knock has a 35% chance of proccing Shadowbite. So Shadowbite used to be tied to Sidewinder, it's an AoE version of Sidewinder. But now it's not tied to Sidewinder and it's just like an AoE Refulgent. And speaking of Refulgent, can we just talk about how stupid Barrage is? Barrage now gives extra potency to Shadowbite, which is fine, like whatever, go ahead and do whatever you want, right? But why do you not give us a Shadowbite proc? Are you guys seeing how dumb this whole thing is with Bard? It's like they didn't even look at it. Okay, so you're gonna know why I'm so pissed about it later. So first, they actually give Refulgent a proc when you click Barrage, so you can actually do Barrage Refulgent immediately. But you wouldn't even give it to Shadowbite. And you know why I'm so mad about it? Because they made this change to Dancer's Flourish. Dancer Flourish, you can literally pick between a single target and an AoE based off one proc. They did this to Dancer and not Bard. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking serious right now? What, am I like the abandoned elder sibling or something? And then you give the middle child and the youngest child the best thing ever? And I'm just like fucking, I don't know, adopted or something like that. You literally gave them that change. What about me? I've been here since ARR. I've been existing since the start of the fucking game. And you didn't even give me that change. I'm so pissed off. That's like the dumbest thing ever. That's actually the dumbest shit ever. I can't believe they just ignored us completely. Also, a tiny complaint is that Blast Arrow, you can only hold it for 10 seconds instead of 30 seconds now. I wish it was longer, but whatever. And the only good changes they made for Repetoire is the 3 charges of Bloodletter and Bard's not being deaf. But honestly, like, as much as I meme and I want Bard to not be deaf and whatever, it doesn't really change anything. Because whether Bards are deaf or not, it doesn't change the playstyle at all, because I'm still doing my own thing and not changing anything for that passive support, right? If anything, all I want is active support. I want my full Requiem and Palisade back. But because they introduced Dancer, now they're stuck, because now it's kind of like the whole White Mage Scholar Astro thing. Except that for Astro, they just gave it regen and shield to cope with it. But we all knew that when the 4th healer comes, they had to pick between one, right? But the thing about range is that you can't pick between the two. You have to just balance, sit somewhere in between. And that's why it's not working out. That's why everything is so confusing for Bard. Because now I'm stuck in this really weird position because Square Enix doesn't know what to do with it after introducing Dancer. And as much as I want to be understanding towards this whole situation, I honestly cannot, because they did such a great job in Repetoire, and then I come back to this disaster of a job. And I know they want to make Bard like more consistent and help with unfavorable situation with dots and whatever, but again, like how many times does this shit happen? How many times do you get into a scenario where putting a dot is not worth it? Over an actual time where putting a dot is worth it, it's like out of 10 times it's 0.5 times. Okay, let's be generous here. 2 times. Okay, 2 times. Fine, whatever. And for anyone who tried to tell me that Bard is not a dot-based jobs, you need to kindly, very politely fuck off. Okay, because Bard has had dots since Realm Reborn, and the emphasis that it has on our job has only grown since like wherever the fuck. And even in Stormblood, it's super focused on dots. It actually gave us a lot of DPS. And I just don't understand why people keep trying to tell me that Bard was never a dot-based job. It was. Now it's not. Because I don't know what the fuck happened. I think they're trying to get away from dots or something. And for all the stupid people who tell me that Bard is broken and has very high DPS, you two need to kindly fuck right off. If I wanted high DPS, why the fuck will I pay? Why would I play a range? Why would I play a physical range? If I wanted DPS, I'll go be a fucking melee main. Remember that role that needed a 5% party buff for it to be relevant? The physical range role? I would be a melee main right about now if I wanted the DPS, okay? So keep your stupid bad take to yourself and stop fucking shit up for every ranged main out there. It's so dumb. Like, that's such a terrible take. Come on, dude. It's actually stupid as shit. Who the fuck would play range if you wanted to do big deeps? If you wanted big deeps, you wouldn't be there. Like, if I wanted to heal, I wouldn't be a dancer. I would play a healer. I'm not playing dancer for HPS. Okay? And I mentioned this a lot of times, that jobs can be simple yet fun to play, and a very good example right now that a lot of people can agree is Reaper. A lot of people in chat enjoy Reaper, a lot of people love Reaper. Is it a complex class to play? No, it's not. It's actually quite basic. On a general basis, it's actually quite basic. I know that the skill ceiling is like, there's a bit of, thing to it, but on a general level, it's very accessible for everyone, and there's such a good skill ceiling as well. And it's really straightforward, so everyone can enjoy it, but Bard isn't one of those things. The thing is, you can make a job so simple that all you need is one GCD, and I've said this a lot of times. If people don't want to put in the effort to learn, they will still fail to perform no matter how simple you make the job. And I know the next question is, why are you gonna play for prog style? I'm gonna play Bard. Because as much as I dislike the job, when you prog in week 1, especially for the first tier, I can't grieve my group. If there's like a really huge difference in DPS, okay, I can't fucking grieve them, and I hate that I have to play Bard. I think it's also a lot on comfort. Because even though I can't play any job 100% perfectly, I'm definitely the most comfortable on Bard, considering I've been playing since Heavensward, blah blah blah, whatever. And if I had a choice, I would definitely play Dancer, because Dancer is so much more fun. And I'm really hoping for Dancer buffs, because I really don't want to play Bard for prog. Maybe the only exception is like full uptime fights. I think full uptime fights are still pretty acceptable. I can still tolerate that, but I don't want to think about anything besides that. And for Machinists, I can't play because my ping is too high, and I think I'm gonna get RSI if I play it for 16-20 hours. So I'm just really hoping that they either nerf Bard to shit or they buff Dancer, or I somehow manage to play Machinists with like high ping or something. But I think if they don't make any changes to Bard, I think it's perma in the grave for me, even past endwalker, because I feel like from the direction they're taking, they won't change it much. We're never gonna get like dot stuff anymore, because it's so fucking difficult to keep track of dots. Even though they introduced Iron Jaws, which you literally click one button and you refresh your dots, it's so fucking difficult. Not trying to be elitist or anything, right? But the amount of people that I've seen that don't put in any effort and then start complaining about a job being difficult is fucking like so many of them. And then a lot of people are gonna tell me that, oh my god, Stal, you're so elitist, how dare you shit on casuals. Casuals perform better than you guys lazy fucks, okay? Don't insult casuals like that. I've met a lot of players who are casuals that can play at a very decent level, or even a very, very good level. I don't insult casuals like that. My friends that are casuals can perform so much better than your dumbass. You're just like lazy fucking leechers trying to leech on other people's clear without putting in effort. So don't tell me anything about casuals or whatever. They are so much better people than you and play so much better. And I would say within my friend group, 80% of the people that I actually play with are all casuals. You just don't see them on stream because they don't like to be on stream. And all of them actually perform so much better than you. And they work so hard to improve on themselves so they can pull their own weight. And yeah, I know a lot of casuals that hate bards now. They don't even do Savage that often, or even at all. And they don't even like playing bard now because of that. So don't come and tell me your stupid, shitty, fucking useless bullshit. Don't insult my friends like that. Rant over. Next time anyone asks me about how bard is, just watch a video. Q, make this into a video. Fuck it, man. I don't want to write a fucking essay on my chat anymore. We should just make a video at this point and get flamed. Good thing the dislike button is hidden. Now I don't need to see how many people dislike it. Good change, YouTube. I like it. I didn't ask for anyone's dislikes or opinions or suggestions. And I pay my own sub. No dislike. No dislike in the video.